And good morning. It is 26 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in the studio this morning, I think they're all there.
Yeah, we're
Sheriff
here.
Mike Herrington.
Good morning,
Sheriff.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Doing great. You all by yourself there? Or you
Nope,
bring
I
someone
have
along with you?
I have the Undersheriff here with me this morning, and we are
Good
ready to
morning,
go.
Mike.
We're sitting here
Good
staring
morning.
at this huge poster billboard thing. So it looks
Charles
good.
is well acquainted with that thing.
Yeah,
But is this your first time, Sheriff?
Yes, first time being in here.
Now let's clarify that. Acquainted through the radio interview.
Yeah,
No, he
yeah,
busted him on a street corner 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I saw this crazy looking guy running around.
yeah, that's funny. So that's a pretty good picture though.
He didn't have any legs, so he didn't have to far
Yeah.
to run. But
Yeah, so that's good. So how's everything?
good. How are you doing, Sheriff?
Good. We are doing real good. Staying busy.
I know, yeah, you guys have been pretty busy the last month here for sure. Hey, well, since Charles is here, I talked a little bit about it on Wednesday, but they had a big success with the Legacy Run on Tuesday with the American Legion. I know Charles was gathering a bunch of the bikers together to meet up with them outside of town, and then was all part of it. But how was your experiences with the Legacy Run Tuesday?
So it was great. I actually was the one doing all the cooking for them.
You were cooking, yeah.
So that was something to me that it's great to see people come together to help, and this goes to help the children from the 9/11 incident and stuff like that. So it's good to see that happen, and there's nothing that gains more attention than to see that many bikes running through town, with as loud as they are, is in a good group, and the people, the community did a great job getting them through the intersection. So it was a success, and so we were very honored to be a part of that.
Well, I don't know if you guys heard, but the Legacy Run, when it started in Arkansas, and when it left Roswell, I think they had raised about $93,000.
That's amazing.
So they got $3 or $4 grand right here in Roswell alone.
That's amazing. That's good.
Yeah. So
Well, we live in
hopefully it's higher now.
We live in a very giving community, and we see that in all walks of life. You know, I've been there where people will come up to you and give you their last dollar to help your cause or your event, and that's something to me that makes me proud to be from the southeastern part of New Mexico.
Absolutely. Yeah. Big thank you to everyone that turned out. Obviously, thank you to you, Sheriff, and Charles in the Sheriff's Department for helping out and supporting and feeding. See, a lot of people been hungry on Tuesday. If it wasn't for Sheriff.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and it turned out real well, and thanks to the way that American Legion set up and did everything, it was easy to get everybody in, and you know, you watch TV shows where they're feeding a whole lot of people that are standing in line waiting, and luckily enough, we had, I guarantee you, I don't even know how many hot dogs. There had to have been over 1,000 hot dogs that we cooked, but it was done very methodical and was a success. So
I know. I got to ask because I've been in radio for a long time, and spent many a time at remote broadcast. I'll be at one tomorrow, and there's always hot dogs cooking.
yes,
At some point, do you ever get sick of hot dogs?
for me personally, as you can
Yeah.
tell by looking at me, never.
Cooking them
Never.
or eating
Yeah.
them.
So
Yes.
you know.
Cooking and eating.
We
Yeah.
never get tired of eating hot dogs.
It's a stress reliever to be out by the barbecue grill and just to be there and enjoying it. And as the cook, you get to sample the food, so that's always really good. So they're
Happy
like, you gonna get
accidents.
something? Yeah, I already have, so that's good. But yeah, so no, it's always relaxing to me. I enjoy doing that, and we plan on doing some more things like that for the community, as well as doing it for my department, and having like on Fridays, getting the guys out there and cooking for them as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's the part that you as sheriff, and you get that your department's a family. They're
Absolutely.
it's different situation than working at any other place on the planet. That these people got you back.
Yep.
Like for real got you back.
Right.
Not hey, did you
Well,
do that TPS report?
Right.
No, they for
You-
real got you back.
And
so
and the one
camaraderie is
thing,
a big part of that.
it really is. And the one thing is, you see them in the human side. A lot of people just see them as police, and it's kind of like what the TV shows. You don't see the personal side or the human side of it, and being there, you get to actually see that. So you have to be supportive of one another, because there are crazy times, and we're dealing with some crazy things, and you have to be the one that they can come to and talk to and feel comfortable around. So and they do that with
Absolutely.
their own guys. So it's a good thing for us that everyone gets along, and that's including Roswell Police, State Police, everybody. We can talk to each other and tell what happened and listen to everybody else's stories, and it kind of gets you through the day.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's strength in numbers. There's always
Absolutely.
that's you lean on each other in the good times and the bad ones. That's how it works.
That is right.
Absolutely.
Let's give us update on some of the stuff outside of the fun stuff, the criminal side of things. What are you guys seeing? What's been some of the stuff going on the last couple months we want to keep the public informed about?
So right now, one thing that we're still dealing with that hasn't changed, and it goes back and forth with the lockdowns and the kids being home from school and different things, but mostly domestic violence is it's still high, and people are stuck together in a sense that, and we all know we love each other, we do whatever, but you can only tolerate some people for a short amount of time, so that's,
I hear you.
that's, the people seem to be getting on each other's nerves, but domestic violence is a real thing. And some of these people now are together all the time, and the physical and mental abuse just doesn't stop. So that has been on the rise. The stealing of property is up. Home burglaries aren't as high as they were, because now they're just stealing whatever is laying around outside, or stealing cars, stealing cars right and left. So we tell people, make sure you have your keys, don't leave them in the car, make sure your car's locked, make it to where they have to work to get to it.
Sure.
So-
That's always been when it comes to robbery and things, criminals by nature want the path of least resistance, just like most people do.
Yep.
So if you like you were saying earlier, a lot more people are home now, so you're not seeing as many
Yeah.
in-home burglaries. They like to do it during the day when you're at work, not at night in the home.
All right.
So
But if you're leaving a lawnmower sitting out in the front yard and wonder why it disappeared,
Yep.
that's on you a little bit.
yeah, absolutely. And it's a shame that, we have to believe that you caused that to happen, because you shouldn't have to think that way. But
Sure.
the reality of it is that they are opportunists, and they will take anything. And your junk is another man's treasure. So they will take it, just like leaving your glasses in your car on the dashboard. You may think, oh, I just got those, and they don't mean much to me, but to somebody else they may mean a lot, and they'll break your window to get them.
Sure.
So-
Well, and it's even things have value, and that's what it is. A lot of these folks, and I'm not saying all of them, but they're supporting drug habits, things like that.
Yep.
So anything of value. I mean, old plumbing parts. They're like, hey, there's copper in there. I can get
copper.
money in that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
that's what they're looking for, is anything of value. So
Yep.
even if something you think's not valuable, there might be parts inside that have value.
Yeah.
That's why they're taking it.
That's exactly right. They'll tear apart your air conditioner unit for $7 worth of copper, ruin
Yeah,
a $4,000 piece of equipment for $7 worth of copper. But one thing that I wanted to say also is, we have been going to rallies and speaking out on behalf of the medical staff who have been forced to basically get the vaccine or to lose their job. And, in our stance at the sheriff's office, and my stance as the sheriff, is I support you if you get the shot. I support you if you don't. I believe that it is your choice, and it shouldn't cost you your job if you choose not to get it. It should be one of the things, like I said, there are some ways that they can go around it. They can do the testing, they can do other things, but some people right now do not want to get the shot because they don't trust the government. There's things that are going on right now that are absolutely crazy in our government.
The thing that, if I use it's a rough analogy, but it's still an analogy.
Yep.
What's going on right now on the healthcare side with vaccine mandates?
Yep.
This is no different than if we were sitting there on June 6th D-Day with all of our soldiers getting ready to storm the beaches, and they said, wait a minute, half you guys aren't vaccinated, get back in the boats.
Yeah.
We're not going to let you fight.
Yep.
Good luck to the rest of you.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing to the healthcare world right now, and everybody's losing.
In a place that
this makes no sense.
Yeah, in a time, in a place where medical personnel are valuable.
Critical.
Yep, they're valuable because they are so few that the rest of us are going to suffer. And they've already worked through 18 months of this virus, dealing with it hands-on every day. And now all of a sudden it is critical for them to get this shot or be fired. And like I said, I support those who get it, those who don't, those who want to wear a mask, those who don't. I believe by the Constitution of the United States, you have the right to decide what you do to yourself in a situation like that. You have the right to make the right choice based on your morals and your judgment, and if you do something that's wrong, there's consequences for it. And so we know all that, but it's a very serious thing. And we were watching yesterday some things going on in California where they were saying you can't come into these grocery stores without the vaccine. And you have really done one of two things. You force somebody to take a shot that they don't need to survive. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, or they don't want to survive. Or the other, you've caused a whole lot of people to become the best forgers in the world.
Right.
Because they're gonna the card is ridiculous. You can get it off the internet and you could fill it out yourself. No one knows where you went and got your shot. There's no record of nothing. You can say I went to another state and got it. There's no way to track that. So
I even think if you do any kind of cursory search online, you could probably find some kind of websites or some place to get fake cards and stuff.
Yeah,
you push people into that corner, and bad things can happen. So we've seen that, and so there's a lot of that going on. And the other thing I want to say, as the sheriff, but also as Mike Herrington, a former Air Force person, but a veteran of the United States military, I want to issue my condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in Afghanistan, but I'm watching the TV.
Event.
I'm telling you, I'm watching the TV, and I'm thinking, what in the heck?
And to
is
those
happening?
that are still stuck there.
Yeah, and those that are still stuck there, and I just cannot understand. And I watch that TV, and I think, am I the only one seeing that from the top, we are in trouble? We are in serious trouble. And I don't know.
Yeah, our world and how we treat the world and act the world, it's not as simple of let's just make a parking lot out of this, or let's just abandon this. And I know that's fun for you and me and everyone else to say these things, but when our actual leaders of the free world are saying these things,
Yes. Oh, man.
that's not good.
It's not good, and I just sure don't understand. I don't understand it, but I do know what my role is as the sheriff, and that is to protect this Constitution of the United States and the rights of those people here in Chaves County, where I have been elected, and that's what I'm doing. And every day is a fight to do it, but it's the best way to fight this is to say, I stand up for what is right, and I'm going to do what is right, and then whatever consequences come from that, you have to take them, and that's just the way it is. We can't cower down because they're threaten you with other things. So it's just crazy, and like I said, we know people who have been involved in physical altercations over being told, yes, you have to get it, or no, you don't have to. You don't have to get into a physical fight right now. You know, that's not what it's about. Just say no. Just say no and walk away. Or if you want to get it, say yes and go get the shot. Who cares? It's not our choice what happens to you. It's your choice.
It's your own choice.
Yeah.
And this isn't everything. This is not just masks or wear not masks. It's just people need to understand that when you get in a situation, whether it's a legal, physical, whatever it is, like for instance, a traffic stop or any kind of time you're detained by a police officer. If you're following the commands of the officer, you will never get hurt.
That's correct.
Now, you could disagree. You may not even think they're doing the right actions. But at that moment, in that heated or could be heated situation, that's just comply, do your thing, and if there's wrongdoing shenanigans, then you address it after the danger side is done and gone.
Absolutely.
And that may not be that night. That might be weeks, months ahead. But you're living. Everyone's alive to tell their tale and to tell their side of the story. Yes. And that's a far better outcome than what we're seeing by people making rash decisions or making judgments based on narratives that are out there that aren't accurate.
Yep, that's right.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that I will say too. You know, we are so blessed at Chaves County Sheriff's Office that our county commissioners and our county management all came to our aid whenever it was time to get body cameras for the deputies. And one of the reasons I say that is because before everything started to happen, we were already spending, once I took office, we started with this camera system, and it was about $30,000 a year. Well, now it's gone up to $60,000 a year, and every person has a body camera as well as a car camera that faces forward and one also in the back seat of the car. And these video cameras show true life as it's happening. So
very accurate.
Your brain's going to try to fill in the spots with all these other things that you can't remember, where when you go and you watch the video, it's able to show you exactly what happened and show you that you were able to do the right thing or that you did the right thing. And so
I would challenge any person, even a trained person, to be put in a high stress scenario.
Absolutely.
And then after the fact, remember every single detail about that scenario.
Yep, exactly. No, you don't. And that's one of the things that they even tell you. Witnesses aren't always accurate, because even a witness to a car crash, they looked when they heard the crash. They didn't see what was happening up to the time of the crash. They heard the crash and everybody looked, and then you look up and you say, okay, the light was green when I looked over there, but it could have been red. You know, we don't. So when you look at things and you're trying to recollect that information, it's not always going to be factual, because your brain only remembers certain highlights, and then it fills in all these other spots. Where with the video camera, it shows it true life. And it's actually a good thing. And we're in a time right now where it is very important to have not only audio, because that used to be the thing, everybody carried a tape recorder and you can come back in, but now it has to be video, and a jury will rule correctly when they actually see it as though it's happening right now.
Sure. Well,
And
they say
so
the camera doesn't lie.
Doesn't lie.
That's right.
And we know that there's ways to get around and do things, but with the system that we're with, there's no tampering that can be done with these
Sure.
videos.
It's
And
unedited video.
It's
they're saying.
unedited. We get to store those videos for
Auto uploaded.
auto uploaded. You don't load them. You download them yourself. You don't do anything. Go straight into their cloud, and then it's once it's there for 99 years.
I would imagine even like if they need to extract excerpts of the video for court purposes, there's probably a whole rigmarole on protocols on how to do that without risking editing,
redacting
malicious stuff.
And you can't change it once it goes to the cloud. So, but for us, we have a person who does that specifically, and she's great. She has learned this system in a time when it is so necessary to have videos ready upon demand, really, because IPRA requests have quadrupled. The people were coming in wanting copies of their traffic stops, their video. It doesn't matter what it is. They want they want their video.
They want their proof.
Yeah, and so we have 15 days to get it, or we have 15 days to respond and say, look, it's still in an ongoing investigation, or whatever it may be. But we follow the guidelines. We're not going to violate any of that. And I'm telling you, it is so important to see it in real life on these videos. It for not only them, but for the deputies who were involved, because they can come in and say, okay, I now see that I did everything the right way, or whatever might be the case.
A transcript may give you some of the data, but it doesn't give you the emotion. It doesn't set the table, the full scope of what the people involved were hearing, seeing, feeling, where that video
doesn't show what leads up to.
And most transcripts, and I know this because I've been doing this a long time, most transcripts of audio, when they type out audio, and inaudible are the two main things on that thing all the time. Inaudible or you hear them say and as you're
so
reading
you're missing gaps in the story too.
Yeah, so as you're reading the deal, you see this going a whole lot. So we've been really blessed to have a county that supports us as law enforcement, and I see that in the southeastern part of New Mexico more than ever. And during these crazy times, and like I said, the only reason I use crazy is because crime has always been there. None of that's been anything different. It's that everything else around it is not normal right now.
Right.
We just have people who are angry for no reason. Well, let me rephrase that. To us, it appears to be no reason.
Sure.
To them and to our people of today, the smallest problem is huge to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be anything. And then whenever you're told you're about to lose your job, and we've seen this in the news throughout history, when you take a person's livelihood away, it takes away their belief that they can carry on, and bad things sometimes happen.
Absolutely. When people feel like they're backed into a corner, their response is to survive.
That's right.
And the world we live in right now, due to some real stuff, some overhyping and over politicizing a lot of stuff, has made a lot of people feel like if I'm not fighting, you're going to put me in a corner. And so every little thing in their life, and is escalate. So though you're seeing, sir, can you put a mask on? And that's the snap.
Yes,
you know, it's like I'm done with it.
Yeah.
And it's not the mask. It's because before that they're told they don't have their job, they don't have this, they have that, and this is the problem. And everyone's quick to go into that corner, and we need to say, hold on. But we got, and that's the problem. Is our mental health is rough right now, and we need that. Yeah, everyone's going to talk about all the problems we have. That's it. Number one's mental health. We got to get that fixed, and the rest will
being
start
shut
working
down
itself
doesn't
out.
help that out at all.
And that's the whole point of don't get rid of the nurses or the doctors, the people who are treating these individuals who actually have been dealing with this virus for such a long time already, and they've been dealing with worse viruses than this, or worse diseases without vaccine, because they've been trained on how to deal with these things.
Sure.
So, we can't get rid of them. We can't. And I'll tell you this right now: Texas is going to scoop up all of our medical personnel. They're going to take them all, and they'll get paid better.
Yeah, and they'll probably take our teachers.
They're going to take everybody.
Because they're in the same boat there, too.
And we have to truly hold on to those that we have, and we have to tell them every day, you know what, thank you for staying here. Don't abandon us. Don't leave us. And because every one of us at one time or another need a nurse or a doctor.
Yeah.
And we've got to have them. And I'm going to do everything I can to help them and be in the front of that fight if it's necessary to continue to do that. So,
well, we're running short on time, but I would kind of wrap this part up saying, folks, keep giving ammunition to our legislators. If your stories, your nurses, healthcare, you're having experiences, get those stories to our legislators so they can use that for bullet statements when they're in Santa Fe doing their best to try to get some of this stuff resolved. So,
yep.
Absolutely.
Well, and one thing too I wanted to say is tomorrow morning we'll be out at the farmers market on the courthouse lawn, and I encourage people to come out and support these individuals that are out there, and it is really a great environment. People are out there, and everyone's talking, and you're getting to buy
and enjoying the day,
getting to buy things you don't see everywhere else. So it's good. So we want to be out there. We're going to be out there tomorrow, and
I think you should bring your grill.
Yeah,
just take
and
just grab like some produce and just throw it on the grill.
Throw it on the grill. Well, we have Oys is out there doing that. And she's out there cooking, and then you have Hector out there cooking burritos, and so we're out there. And like I said, you don't want me there because I'll be in front of that grill the whole time.
Well,
so that'll be
tell
good.
the restaurants if they need a break.
Yep.
Sheriff will step in and get on grill there.
Yeah, that's right. Well, and also make sure you follow the Chaves County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. And I want to also tell you we have one individual at the academy now, and I just hired on another individual this last week, and we've got people who we're looking at bringing on board here pretty quick. So we're doing very well manpower-wise.
Very good. But if you're interested, go to the county's website.
Absolutely.
You can see all the job descriptions and everything there and apply and maybe start your process of becoming a sheriff's deputy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We have a couple more spots left.
Yep. So
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you guys. Have an awesome weekend.
Thank you, Mike. You
We'll
too.
See you soon.
Try not to work too hard.
Oh, no.
And we'll see you in person next time.
You
don't
got
have to
it.
look at the big flat
I'm
mic
looking
anymore.
at it right now. I think you need to
Absolutely.
hang it on the wall behind you. Yeah, just put it up there.
It's kind of eerie just to sit there and stare at it and look at it and have it stare back
I
at you.
think you should put it in your employees' offices. Just
Well,
have
if you
just
need it
staring at 'em.
for any Scared Straight programs or even if you just need to keep in the back of a car or something,
Yeah.
let me know.
be
The
a good
scared
thing.
straight smile.
All right.
Life of
thank
Crime will lead you to this.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually looks like you're in handcuffs in this thing.
It kind of does.
Yeah, so that's all right.
Seen him in handcuffs.
Yeah.
Actually, Sheriff, you were right near me all that night.
Yeah,
that picture
I know.
was taken.
I remember. I was thinking it was going to have the pantyhose you had on. But no.
that half
They cut that
mysteriously
off.
disappeared.
Yes,
Might need to
that's
put a few deputies on that investigation there.
good. All right. Well, have a good day.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great
Appreciate
weekend.
you. We'll see you next time.